material, page 16 of the additional material. There's one question on TQM. So let's discuss that question. It also has just in time. Good part is JIT is already completed, so that's good. So it'll be easy for me to explain this now. Devar Bikes is a large national bike manufacturing company established in the year 2003. Company has a strong position in the market, traditionally achieved a good market share, however facing tough competition. Board recognized that it needs to make a fundamental change to its production approach in order to combat increased competition from foreign manufacturers. DB is now being seen as non-lucrative, pollutive, less safety features in comparison to the foreign bikes. Board plans to address this by improving the quality as well as financial performance. Basic background: manufacturer of bikes, also talks about the challenges they are facing. Tough competition is there, foreign competition is also significant, and customers are now seeing that this is company which has non-lucrative product, pollutive product, less safety features. So somewhere there is a challenge now. Components are sourced directly by DB. Suppliers are located worldwide. Suppliers are evaluated on an ongoing basis, including an assessment of whether to utilize new or alternative supplier to improve capacity and performance. Company is having a lot of components piled up in stock, and few of them are becoming obsolete. There's a lot of rework as both internal and external failure are more, so the wastage of resources and rework needs to be controlled. Board is convinced that lean manufacturing is the best approach to be adopted. So now challenges on the procurement side are also being talked about, because I have procured a lot of things and some of the materials have become obsolete. In DB, production process is grouped by function, and production teams comprise a number of permanent members who had acquired their positions through seniority, and a few newly selected specialist staff who had yet to discuss their position in any team. Process of making a bike can be roughly divided into stamping, welding, painting, assembling, inspection, which takes about 11 to 12 hours in total. Standard time in the industry is 8 to 9 hours. Next, another trouble. People in the industry are producing in 8 to 9 hours. I am doing it in 11 to 12 hours. Nature of end product demand is unstable due to economic factors. DB forecasts demand based on its internal policy and historical trends. In retail states located in over 10 metro cities, it has been building close relationship with retailers. Some annexure is enclosed. You are newly appointed to management accounting department. Analysis of quality cost and advice on two measures to reduce the non-conformance cost. Advice on implementation of JIT purchasing and production. This is a statement. Preventive cost is there, appraisal costs are there, internal failure is there, external failure is there. Unfortunately, I see a huge internal and external failure. I'm not seeing much on prevention and appraisal. Go through this. Go through this. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, this is a question where not much of problem solving is involved because the statement is already given to us. I'll just do a little bit analysis of the statement so that makes it easier for me to do. I'll just write the percentages, that's all. 2,50,000, divided by 1 crore 15 lakh 58,000. On prevention, I am as of now spending 2.16 percentage. On prevention, it's only 2.16 percentage. On this, we are spending 0.5%, which are very less. 15 lakh 40. This is some 25.95, which is your failure cost. Biggest worry is my warranty repairs. All put together obviously will be 100%. So these are the costs I've been incurring. Now when I read the statement, I clearly understand that this company is nowhere focused on prevention and appraisal. There's no focus on reducing the failure cost. They are saying, what are the ways of reducing this non-conformance cost? And then on implementation of just-in-time purchasing and just-in-time production. Now, I have a downtime, I have a rework, I have customer complaints, and I have warranty repairs. So many issues are there. There's a warranty repairs which is happening, there's a customer complaint that's happening, there's a rework that's happening, there's a downtime that's happening. They are saying, what are the two measures to reduce non-conformance cost? One, I do see a lot of quality issues in this company. That's why there are customer complaints, there are warranty repairs, so maybe there are some quality issues. So what answer said is, you implement TQM. TQM will ensure that your quality issues are sorted out. If quality issues are sorted out, somewhere you may see a reduction in customer complaints and warranty repairs. TQM, you will explain what is TQM and all. I want you to think through and tell me, we had analyzed one technique which will ensure that there is minimal downtime. In manufacturing operations. Can you tell me what technique was that? We learnt this in one of the chapter, which will ensure that your equipment availability is very high. Availability of equipment.
TPM.
Yeah, TPM. These are the two measures they have talked about. Can I have other measures? Possible. You can talk about other measures also. TQM and TPM are the two measures which they have talked about. You may say that I want to do inspection of raw material. You may talk about I want to do some preventive maintenance. There are multiple things. But these are as such overall techniques itself. These are two techniques to reduce the cost. Can I talk about preventive maintenance? Yes, but preventive maintenance forms part of TPM. Can you talk about inspection of raw material? Yes, but that forms part of TQM. So you can talk about other measures if you want to, but broadly these are the two things I would like to implement, TQM and TPM. TPM is something we have already learned. TPM is basically something which is going to ensure my equipments are in top working condition. My equipments have to be in top working condition. That is going to be ensured. So this is the broad analysis I was talking about. 2.16% is on prevention. 0.5% is on appraisal. Both are significantly less, and 97.34 is on failure, which is very, very high. Failure cost is very, very high. It indirectly is proving the inverse relationship which we have. I have told you that there's an inverse relationship between conformance and non-conformance cost, and this table which was there in the question, the annexure, is also proving that fact. Now what are the measures to reduce non-conformance cost? They are talking about two measures. TPM, you know what is TPM. I'm not defining TPM again here. TPM is basically a system which is going to ensure the integrity of your manufacturing system and ensure that your equipments are in top working condition. What will TPM do? It will reduce downtime, it will reduce rework, and in fact it will also kind of reduce your external failure also, because if you're making the product in good, if you're making the products in good working good quality, if your machines are working properly, there's a possibility that the warranty, repairs and customer complaints will also come down. So it is kind of attack all the 4 items. Downtime and rework will directly come down. The other things can also come down, because if your rework is coming down, it means there is a improvement in quality, which will also kind of get reflected in customer complaints and warranty repairs. This is as far as the first technique is concerned. The second technique is on the TQM side. TQM is also you're going to define, it is going to improve the quality of your output. It will eradicate waste and improve efficiency. TQM works on total employee involvement and continuous improvement. I've been using this word multiple places, total employee involvement. You can use this in multiple techniques. They should implement TQM and all staff must be engaged. All staff must be engaged. These are 2 things which are there. Also, I have to comment on just in time. Just in time is you have JIT purchasing, you have JIT production. JIT purchasing is basically buying the raw material closer to the consumption of it. JIT production is purchasing the product producing the product closer to the sale. There are certain points which may go against implementation of JIT purchasing, certain points which may go against implementation of JIT production in the company, certain products which are beneficial for them. Somewhere there is a need for this. Why is there a need for this? Is somewhere the question is talking about just a minute. Company is having a lot of components piled up in stock. So somewhere there is a problem. You have been continuously buying things. By buying things, you keep increasing them. So this will unnecessarily lead to high carrying costs, some obsolete items, some wastage, obsolescence. So all those issues are there. All those issues are clearly there in the question. That problem is something which is being there in the question. So I'll have to address that. That's an issue which I need to address. So I may go for JIT purchasing. When you go for JIT purchasing, if you remember, one of the important item is vendor reliability, and also the vendor should be in close proximity to my manufacturing premises. Vendor should be in close proximity and he should be able to directly deliver the product to the shop floor. Shop floor is basically the place where the production is going on. Suppliers are located worldwide. This can make it challenging for me to implement JIT purchasing, because my suppliers are not only in India, they are outside India. So if I'm importing, JIT can become difficult, because JIT basically works on everyday procurement. Also JIT works on long-term relationship with supplier. You should ensure a long relationship so that quality and reliability is there as far as your delivery is concerned. What this company is doing is suppliers are evaluated and you keep finding new or alternative supplier. This approach will not work in JIT. Getting new or alternative supplier will not work in JIT system. JIT doesn't focus on this. The focus of JIT is very clear. JIT basically tells that you should go for a long relationship and a sustained relationship with the existing supplier. This is but what are the benefits of JIT? One, it can bring down your costs on the raw material side, your carrying costs. JIT can also bring down this also. How can JIT bring down this time? Because if you remember, in JIT there is going to be a constant flow. There is going to be a proper flow of parts from one system to the other system, so from one process to the other process. So you're going to avoid whatever time wastage which was happening earlier. There would be a constant flow of parts from one system or from one process to the other process. These are the challenges with JIT purchasing. On the JIT production also there are some challenges. The main challenge is demand is unstable. If you have high amount of variation in the demand. If you have high amount of variation in demand, it will call for lot of buffer stock. It will call for lot of buffer stock. In fact, the companies may have to maintain lot of Kanban bins, because you may have more buffer stock to be maintained. So you will have a higher Kanban size, you may have more Kanban bins, more inventory can be there. So though benefits can come from JIT production, but there is a challenge because of variation in demand. Also, what this company is doing historically will not work. They are saying, I am going to look at my demand forecasting based on historical trend. Historical trend will never work for demand forecasting. If that was done, then that is not JIT production. JIT production basically focuses on current approach. It will focus on what is happening now in the market rather than the history. JIT can simplify the task of inventory management, pull system where production and purchasing is based on demand. JIT focuses on having inventory as and when needed. This will reduce huge holding costs. It will also help in streamlining flow of parts in every process. So I can bring down the manufacturing time. The manufacturing time as of now is some 11 to 12 hours as compared to the standard time of 8 to 9 hours. Companies continuously changing suppliers to improve capacity and performance. JIT will say, we don't work on this. We want you to establish a long relationship, reduce number of supplier, and even move towards single sourcing. Single sourcing is one product is procured from a single supplier. Same supplier will end up procuring it. DB is also importing components. However, JIT calls for having suppliers in close proximity. Companies should look for finding suppliers who can directly supply to shop floor, and the same is critical for successful implementation of JIT purchasing. If you want to implement JIT purchasing, you need suppliers to be close to your factory. They should be ready to supply directly to the shop floor. I also need to have ERP system. Okay, I did not discuss about this. If you remember in just in time, one of the feature of just in time is multi skilled teams. One of the benefit of just in time was it will help in reducing idle time. It will help in reducing idle time. How does it help in reducing idle time? Is you make your employees multi-skilled. What is multi-skilled? In this question, I will make an employee work on stamping, welding, painting, assembling, inspection. I would want the person to have all this ability. So if there is no requirement for stamping, I will move him and move to the welding stage. If there's no requirement in welding, I'll move to a painting stage. And a person should be able to do from the beginning till the end. What we will do is, instead of having a functional structure, we can have a structure which can vary based on the variety of bike. There are set of people who will work on model 1. There are set of people who work on model 2, model 3, model 4, model 5. So you will have a structure based on the type of bike rather than type of function. So JIT works on multi-skilled teams. This point I did not explain. Functional division is not appropriate. JIT production calls for multi-skilled teams who should be trained based on type of bike rather than type of work. There is a type of bike, let's assume electric bike, or variant 1, variant 2, variant 3. A person should be able to do from the beginning till the end in variant 1, variant 2, variant 3. DB forecasts demand based on internal policy and historical trend. This is not appropriate. You cannot do it based on earlier scenario. You'll have to do it based on current market trends. Additionally, demand is unstable and will call for having buffer inventory, leading to Kanban bins and higher Kanban size and more Kanban bins. Companies should look at implementing TPM, all this, and they are just giving a point saying that you should ensure that you are taking it from a long term. This is a point you can write in any case study. You cannot look at ROI from a short term point of view. You will have to give them time. These techniques do take time, so give them time and ensure that over the longer run they give you results. You can just go through the solution now. Okay, I'll proceed.